Hi guys, HC605MA here. In this video I wanted to show close-up of the hardware. This is the complete Simchair MKIII set with all the latest upgrades. You can see that the single collective with the Huey head and the pneumatic mode is installed, and the latest addition, the throttle quadrant, is also there. You can see the strengthened gimbal with rubber bands, so we have self-centering cyclic. It's really quite cool because the previous version of the gimbal didn't support the tensioners of various kinds, like rubber bands or springs or anything else, because these things just pressed out the bearings from their sockets over time. So this new gimbal here, it addresses this issue. You can see it's bigger and stronger than the original one. And it can handle at least rubber bands with no problems at all. I think the same goes for everything else. So the cyclic feels really great. I rarely use the force trim feature while on the ground now, mostly in flight, or when I need to detach my cyclic. By the way, when you're flying in your simulator, you can, if you need to go somewhere and pour yourself some coffee or whatever, you can easily remove your stick like this, and when you will be back, you can plug it back in, and it will work. So the cyclic is hot pluggable. Then let's look at the collective lever. I have installed all the latest upgrades to my single collective. So let's look at it closer. So here you can see this mark. This is needle stop detent. It's not a physical detent, it's a software one. So basically, when you calibrate the collective, the throttle, you write this throttle value in firmware, and then you can only go beyond it when you turn your throttle if your idle detent button is pressed like this. So this this really works in UH1 compatibility mode in DCS. It looks quite cool actually. So you can move it freely when you're increasing throttle, but it only will go past this detent if the idle stop button is pressed, just like in a real helicopter. You can also see that this small ring here, it's the latest update to a single collective lever. This thing is now no standalone device, because before that this this part, it was inside the throttle grip, and the collective head, the throttle grip was held in place, you know, from sliding forward by the collective head. Now this small ring here, it's a physical detent for throttle grip, so it won't go anywhere. The same thing works for the twin collective lever. Now about the probably the most interesting mode. It's the pneumatic mode. You can see that we have a counterweight here. You can also see that there are no rubber bands and no rubber bands holder. So this is a MAL 16 minus 150 pneumatic cylinder. You can see how it works in general. It holds the lever in any position. You can adjust the resistance it provides with these two screws. You can make it lighter or stronger. In any position, because of the counterweight here, it will be held steadily. You can see, unlike the rubber bands, it holds in place in all of the range of the lever. You can see this ring is the mechanical detent that allows the lever to rest on it. So here's how it looks. So there's little additional load on the lever, in fact. And the coolest thing about it is that it moves really smoothly, because you know, in the very first version of the collective, I tried to tighten this thing here. It's the friction tensioner, and it really didn't work so well, because the plastic, this halves of the tensioner, they kind of they tend to bite into the lever connector part here, and it becomes really stiff, and you can't move it by a hair. And with this mod, it's really light, so I can move it. You can see just barely touching it, yet it holds in place firmly in any position I like. So that's it. By the way, you can use the counterweight without the pneumatic cylinder, and I believe it will still be better than rubber bands, because it actually makes the weight of the lever, it makes the lever weight almost nothing. So the friction tensioner works really well with it, even without this cylinder. But I really recommend using the whole thing because it really adds something to the feeling of this lever. It really feels very nice with this mod. So now let's look at the latest addition, the throttle quadrant. So I had the Cessna style controls in the set before, but I decided just to make something more universal that can be mounted to the same frame, the same IKEA chair, and this is it. So it has unlimited number of axes. By unlimited, of course, I mean some infinite number like 6 or whatever. I use 3 because I have some space limitations in the place where my computer is. So basically I can only fit 3 axes in there. But you can just stack these parts as many times as you like. You can make like 10 axes. It just may require an additional controller for it, and some adjustments to the code. But there's actually no limit to this axis. And an interesting thing about it, right now it's the first version of its firmware. So right now it supports 2 axes per potentiometer. Here you can see it rotates 300 degrees. It can use all of its range of the potentiometer. So you can actually set up the desired range for yourself. So due to how this thing is mounted on my chair and the default way, default setting for IKEA chair, I recommend using this range here as the main axis, and then there's a slight gap, so you know, you wouldn't miss the end of one axis and accidentally go into another. And then another axis is something like this, so it's here. So how it works: this axis comes to its minimal value, and then there's nothing here, and then the value of the secondary axis increases. So this particular gimbal provides 6 axes for you know, assignment of some controls. So in DCS, by default, I use this one for throttle, this one for prop controls, and fun thing, because I don't have toe brakes on my pedals yet, so this axis actually works as wheel brakes. So it's not very realistic, but it's really useful to have 2 axes like this here, so you can use reverse, you know, on STOL aircraft or jets. You can go like here. So it's really simple to make, and great thing. It's basically only 4 different parts. It's this lead, and this part here, and of course the slider. So pedals are pretty much the same as they have been, you know, from the very beginning, except for slight change in the way how sensor is mounted. I have written about it earlier somewhere, but basically pedals are great. They work perfectly, and nothing else you know, to say about them. They just work great. They're quite simple, they're easy to make. These rubber bands here, I haven't changed them for a long time, and nothing is happening with them. By the way, these rubber bands there, they are there for more than a week already, and nothing, you know, nothing is wrong with them yet. So it's probably it's quite cool actually. So that's it, except for I would like to say something about the chair itself as well. This is the IKEA Gunde chair with IKEA Malinde pedals. You can see it's a foldable, little, lightweight, cheap chair, which I have improved and modded. Here you can see 2 aluminum rectangular pipes. So they are mounted on the back. This is actually a really strong frame. It improves the structural strength of the chair by a great amount. So these pillows, these are IKEA Malinde pillows. They make this chair really comfortable, and it's almost like a compact armchair now. It's really quite a great chair. It's cheap. You can buy it everywhere in the world, almost everywhere, you know, and it's very practical. You can even, you know, if one day we'll be able to fly drones and RC helicopters with this set. It's quite easy to take with you to the field. Of course, the version for this will be lightened, because you obviously don't need all this stuff, probably don't need the pneumatic mode and don't need this stuff. Probably simple collective will be revived for RC use, but it's another story. So that's it, guys. Hope you liked the whole thing. I will be making a video about how it works in flight with all these recent changes and updates. So thanks for watching. Bye.